For today's lesson, our focus standard comes from grade 7, Number Systems, Standard 1, Represent addition of integers on a horizontal or vertical number line diagram. Our topic is from adding and subtracting integers, adding integers with the number line model. Our essential question is, how can we use a number line to visualize how to add integers? Please take a moment, pausing the video if you need to copy the topic and essential question into your header along with today's date, set the question column in your note column, and resume the video when you're ready to begin. So far in our lessons on adding and subtracting integers, we have focused primarily on adding, and we've looked at additive inverses, numbers that combine to make 0. We've looked at using chips that represent positive and negative integers, and today we're going to look at the number line. And there's a couple things to remember that are helpful when using a number line. The first is that the sign of the integer we're adding tells us which direction to go. So the first number is going to tell us where to start. The second number, the sign of that integer is going to tell us if it's positive to move towards the positives, that would be right, if it's a horizontal number line, or up if it's a vertical number line. The negative integers moves us toward the negatives, or to the left on a horizontal number line and down on a vertical number line. So we're going to put this into practice today with 4 example problems. Let's take a look at our first example. For our first example, we have the value 7 plus negative 5. So if you remember correctly, I just mentioned that the first number tells us where on our number line to begin. So I'm going to get the pen. And so we are going to start at positive 7. So circle that. Here's our starting spot. Now it says plus negative 5. Well, the negatives are on the left side of the number line. Here's our positives over here. And so a negative integer moves us toward the negatives left. So it's negative and it's 5. So from 7, we're going to go to the left 5 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we end at 2. So therefore, 7 plus negative 5 is 2. Alright, let's try our next example. For our second example, we have negative 2 plus negative 8. Think about where we're going to start and what direction we're going to move from there. If you want to mark it on your number line, you can, pausing the video if you need to. And let's see if we agree. So since our first number is negative 2, we're going to find negative 2 on the number line, and here's where we're going to start. Our second number is negative 8, so since it's negative, again, our negatives are on the left side of the number line, so we're going to move left 8 places, starting from negative 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, negative 2 plus a negative 8 equals negative 10. Negative 2 plus negative 8 equals negative 10. Alright, so those are our first 2 examples, and we used a horizontal number line to do that. Now we're going to take a look at 2 examples on a vertical number line. Oftentimes when we use the vertical number line, you'll see people using a hot air balloon analogy or example, or they'll compare this to using a hot air balloon. So in such a case, and kind of like with the number chips, you can think about a positive integer in this analogy is equivalent to using a blast of hot air to rise 1. So hot air in a hot air balloon makes it go up, and then adding sandbags to drop it 1. So a negative integer is going to be a sandbag, and that'll drop it 1. Again, on a number line model, the very first, whether it's horizontal or vertical, the first integer tells us where to begin. So our -6 is where we want to begin. So you can see here that I've started with the basket. It's pretty small. Let's see if I can zoom in here. Is the basket is right at -6, and that's the part we're going to watch. And so it's -6, there's our starting spot, plus 10. So we want to give it 10 blasts of hot air for each of those integers to make it rise up. So from here we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And again, I'm trying to use that basket as my marker spot. So we started at -6 and we added 10, so we went up, adding 10 blasts of hot air, and we ended at +4. So -6 plus 10 equals 4. See if you can try this one. For our last example, -10 plus 8. Again, the basket for this hot air balloon is starting where our first integer is at -10. This is we want to add 8, so we're going to go up. We're going to add 8 blasts of hot air. Where are we going to land? Alright, let's try this out. So 1 blast, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So our hot air balloon is now at -2. The basket is at -2. So from -10, we added 8 blasts of hot air, 8 positives, to rise it up towards the positives. We landed at -2. So -10 plus 8 equals -2. Alright, so that concludes our video today on adding integers with the number line, and we saw both horizontal examples and vertical examples.